What's going on? What's going on, good people? Back once again for the Birdcage. But before we go ahead and present the content to you for this week for the Birdz versus the Jets, go ahead and click that like and that subscribe button for us so we can continue to keep bringing you the funk that we do. Or better yet, the good news on these dirty birds, baby. That's why we say it's funk. But anywho, we got a hot one coming for you today. So sit back, relax, and check Pee Wee's draws, because I think we went on ahead and hurt some feelings with them Saints, better known as the Baghead. So let's go ahead and get it.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good people. See, good things are starting to happen tonight. You know, I didn't fall out of my chair just now. So if you didn't get to see that, good for you. But if you do watch it on playback, you might see me stumble a little bit. But it's all good. We might squabble, but we don't fall down. So what's going on, everybody? You know how we getting ready to get down, man. You either get right or you get left. It's the Birdcage, you dig? So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and start bringing in the magnificent Birdcage crew, so we can go ahead and get to this week's matchup, because we got a lot of material to cover. So, you know, we're going to sit back and cut up a little bit, but we definitely got some material to get to. So first and foremost, I got to go ahead and grab one of the OGs of this here. We got K-Dub, Killer Killian Worthy, better known as Mr. Clutch, rocking the Bulldog attire. I'm right there with you, baby. Let's get it.
Yes, beat Bama week. Everybody in the Birdcage, good to be in the building. If you're not a Bulldog fan, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but it's that week. So, you know, it's still red and black always, all day, forever, always. So red and black dogs, red and black Falcons. It is what it is. I'm so happy and pumped that we're number one in this division. Let's go up here to New York and continue to handle business, continue to get back to our identity, run the football, play outstanding defense, and like I said, limit the turnovers, and only pass the ball for maybe 20 to 25 times a game. That's what I'm looking for.
I agree. So we also got another OG of this thing here. We got the old man, better known as Graybeard, the gray one, Mr. Salt and Pepper himself. What's going on, Graybeard?
What it is.
Good evening.
You earned that nigga. I'm sticking with you for life, homie.
Good evening. Hey man, what's going on with everybody in the Birdcage family? Thanks for stopping by and rapping with us and chilling with us, man. Make sure you like and subscribe the channel, please. Coming to top tier and premium ATL content But yeah,
Now we
man,
got
All
you
right.
already know what it is. Go dog, man. You
now
already know,
hold up.
man.
Now we got Bama fans in here, that Falcon fans too.
Man,
But I'm gonna
bump
let
them.
y'all folks know. I'm gonna let y'all Bama fans in on a little something if you didn't know.
Bump y'all.
The original owner, Mr. Rankin Smith, the is a University of Georgia alum. God rest his soul. So these colors that you see, red, black, and white, he originally had it to where it represented the state school, but Georgia Tech made a bit of a fuss out of it. So that's why you had the gold stripes down the helmets as well, because they included them. And they sprinkled a little bit of that, that little glittery honey, whatever they got over there at that technical school. You know what I'm saying, with the Legos and stuff. They sprinkled that up in there. But understand this team that you pull for right now is based off of them Georgia Bulldogs. So you got some dog in you. I'm letting you know that now. So
All right.
you can keep talking.
Yeah.
I got to cut up with these Bama fans, man. But it is what it is. What's going on? We got some of our regulars in here. We got one of our broadnecks. What's happening? And then we got Mr. Raymond Soils. What's going on? So we're gonna go ahead and get to this here, man. So first thing we got going on is Bijan Robinson just really sticking with Desmond Ritter's resilience. He's giving him praise for it. He's seeing a lot of good things that's coming with it, and it's just like, man, what what really flipped the switch? We kind of touched on that, but what makes people resilient in this life? That's what I'm gonna start off with tonight. What makes people resilient in this life, and what makes people do extraordinary things? So I'm gonna go ahead and let K Dub jump on this one first, and then I'm gonna let Gray Beard get it because I had Gray Beard starting last week. So I gotta let K Dub jump on this. What do you think is Ritter's mindset to where you have a resilience right now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, my resilience in Ritter is basically coming into a situation where he really didn't have a substantial quarterback to learn from. The situation was dire, and for someone to learn from, to learn the quarterback position from. But going
Mm-hmm.
through the storm, going through the fire, walking into sacks, turning the ball over, whatever it may be, being benched, going through the storm, going through the fire, but continuing to stay steadfast and continue to keep pushing and continue to be resilient and not giving up. And when he get a chance to get back on the field, he make successful moves and we got the win. So I mean, I have nothing but confidence and ability in him. But that's the resilience that I see in him, and I believe that's what uh, Mr. Bijan Robinson seen in him at an early stage in his career, that he has somebody that he can get in that foxhole with and do battle with, going down the stretch of their careers, because they're both relatively young, and they got bright futures ahead with the young nucleus that we have. Just hopefully that Coach Arthur Smith is the one to lead them forward, going forward.
You're right about that, and I'm gonna let Graybeard touch on it, but I gotta jump on it, man. When you talk about resiliency and you talk about heart determination, God put that in a lot, put that in everybody. It's just
Mm,
whether you're gonna tap into it or not, because you're either gonna be fight or flight, is what we would say. You either gonna fight out of the adversity that you face, or you're gonna go ahead and cower and blame it on somebody else. Sometimes you can't blame your mistakes on everybody else. Sometimes you have to really, not even sometimes. Anytime you screw up, you have to take accountability, period. And that's in anything in life. You know, when every day you wake up, the good Lord tells you straight up, you got a chance and you got a choice. You got a choice to do the right thing and fight through whatever adversity that you have, and it might lead to a chance of you doing something great. Now, you could either choose to fall to the wayside and fold, and then there's a chance that whatever opportunity that you have just fades away, and you pretty much stuck in that rut. So, just to touch on that, Gray Bid, how do you feel about just people having resiliency and the fight that this team has, and with Desmond Ritter being the leader, what do you think with him coming off the bench, people wanting to get rid of him, draft another quarterback, and just so many intangibles are going on? What do you think it is that pretty much keeps him so resilient?
Man, I just think for me when it comes to Desmond McGillivray, man, that the makeup that you want to have in a leader comes in
Mm-hmm.
leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One of my mentors used to tell me this while I was getting service and whatnot. He said, man, the first thing you got to learn as a leader, before you can hold anybody else accountable, you got to hold yourself accountable first. So
Mm.
when I look at Desmond Ritter, I think he held himself accountable and said, "Look, man, I was turning the ball over too many times. I wasn't reading the progression right now. It was getting the best of me. He took the he took the benching and whatever, man. He took it like a man. He looked at it like, look, man, it's the bigger picture, man. It ain't about me. It's about the team. It's about the team progressing forward and getting the win that we need to make it forward into the playoff or whatnot. And I think you got to give that man a great deal of respect because he took it with grace. He took it with dignity. He didn't complain about it. He just went back to the laboratory and he put in the work. I mean, when you see those type of intangibles, man, that's what you want in a quarterback. That's what you want come out of to lead the locker room and whatnot. Is to have those
Mm-hmm.
certain intangibles and whatnot. That's why I think a lot of players are drawn to him, like Drake London, like Bijan Robinson, because they see how much work he putting into it, and he see how he handled himself, and with grace and dignity and whatnot. So hey man, I was one of them people that was hard on Desmond Ritter too. I was saying, man, he just turned the ball over, but I like the fact that he didn't take that in fact and be like, man, it is what it is, man. He's fighting hard to stay in Atlanta. He's fighting hard to wear that Atlanta Falcons uniform, and that's something that I can get behind. Not too many people want to come to Atlanta because they just think it's a great way to come get a check and eat lemon pepper wings all day. So I gotta, I mean, I just gotta look at that. I ain't gotta give him much respect. 'Cause, that didn't just start in the NFL. That started back in college and that started back in high school. The preparation and the discipline and the leadership that he got in those
But
places
I'm a,
right now, and you truly starting to show his character in the NFL.
but I'm gonna keep it real with you. It don't start there. Those are places that he showed everybody that he can be a leader. You
Right.
know where a lot of that stuff starts?
Home.
Starts at home. It starts with what you marinated in. Period. A situation can change you. You look at it. He's a guy that comes from Louisville, Kentucky. Everybody knows one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of that city was Muhammad Ali.
Great.
And when you talk about resiliency, that was a man who, he pissed off about 90% of America. Let's keep it real. Even people in his own community. But
Was
the
he
thing that
wrong?
they respected about him was he talked it, he walked it. Even when he fell to the wayside and Joe Frazier put him on his back, he got up and he kept fighting. He never was knocked out in his career. He's been knocked down, but he never was knocked out. He lost the fight, but the thing that made him special and the thing that it's just something in the water with them darn athletes that come up out of there because a lot of them follow suit after Mr. Ali. Let's be real. Desmond Ritter was a young man who always, people told him, man, you're not that good. You're not this, you're not that. He's always had the odds against him. So when you hear him talk trash, when you see him talk trash to his own fan base, I'm gonna tell you, I get a kick out of it when he turns around and say, "This is my MFing house." When he says that to fans, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I needed him to sit down, and I never said I wanted to get rid of him. I'll be clear on what I said again, and
Right.
you two can vouch for this. I said I think he need to sit on the bench for a game or two, and I think he need to refocus because maybe that might help him because it's a lot coming at him so fast, and he needs to refocus and really sit back and think like, okay, my job is on the line, and with me having my job on the line, I got to fight with everything I got.
Right.
And so when he started, yeah, he had the two turnovers. Is what it is. We're not gonna hide it. That's got to get better. Period. That's the thing that's killing him. But the thing I respect about him, he picked himself up off the canvas and he fought through a
Mm.
bad, bad adverse situation. Where the only people that really stuck with him, let's just be real, is Arthur Smith and Arthur Blank. Those are the only two people that really stuck with him because everybody and their mama wanted to change.
Yeah.
Grass wasn't green on the other side. He comes back into the fold and he leads the Falcons to victory. He's beaten every division rival this year. He's beaten every division rival this year. Yes,
Yeah.
we lost games, but I can't sit there and be mad at him because when's the last time we've been on top of the division and been 3-0 in the division?
Been a while.
It's been a long time.
It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
boy, too long, too
But
long.
a change is gonna come.
Gonna come.
Yeah.
Whoa, yes it is.
Hey,
I
Cam
had to
Yes,
hit
it
a
Cook.
little
is.
Sam Cook for you, man. You know
Cam
he
Cook had it
you
best.
started that one. You started that one, Kay.
Oh yeah.
But let's get
That's,
to it though.
yeah.
He has 10 games under him so far, 65% completion percentage, 1,908 yards passing. He's getting 7.1 yards per attempt. He's got 7 passing touchdowns with 8 interceptions, with 180 rushing yards, with 4 touchdowns and 7 fumbles. Now, I can tell you this here: 5 of those fumbles aren't on him. 5 of them are. 2 of them are.
Yeah,
Most of those are on bad snaps. So I'm not going. I'm going to harp on it, but I'm also going to point out the things that we're seeing. So he's looking at everything. He's got to manage it. It's just like managing a family. The man got a wife and kid, and he has to manage that household when
oh
stuff
yeah,
is haywire. It
oh
ain't
yeah.
always easy. It's never easy to manage that. And for him being in that situation that he's in right now as a young father, young husband, this really helps his game out. Let's just be honest. It helps his game out a lot.
Agreed.
And K Dub, with you being a family man, married, wife, kids, everything else, you know what I'm saying? You can speak on the pressures of being able to make a situation work because that's a situation I had stepped into. Eventually, I'm going to be in that situation. But you understand what it's like when times are hard. You got to still keep that same laser focus and say, you know what? This ain't working today. What can I do? What is it that keeps you resilient? And you can speak on this for him because he's in a situation providing for his family. And the resiliency, as men, let's talk about what really keeps us as men, just you per se, what keeps you going and keeps you coming back with that fighting? Because everybody ain't built like that.
Well, like I say, I mean, to piggyback off what you were just saying earlier is basically what you're marinated in, and I marinated in some good spices and juices, I guess. Coming out there Decatur, you know what I'm saying? It was rough. So, I mean, when you make it through so many life challenges and life obstacles and hurdles, and you just
Hmm.
feel like God has got His hand on you. So that's really way to keep pushing forward is prayer and asking for His guidance. But to just be real though, it's life is a day. It's a chore every day. So you get up and you thank Him and you move forward. I mean, for us, me going pushing me to do the things that I need to do is just having that family, that grounded base to want to do right by your family, to want to do right by yourself and the people that raised you. So, uh, but I mean, like I say, it's like we're a dying relic right now. So I fear for the next generations to come. I hope that I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but from what I see in today's society, we're going down a slippery slope, and it's not the short term, it's the long term effects. So that's what I'm looking at. But what makes me go forward is just, like I said, it's like I said, first having the prayer, having the faith that you can do it and go forward, and continue to have solid people in your circle that you can communicate with, and having someone that you can vent to also to get through life's challenges and life's ups and downs. But that's just what some of the things that I do to make me successful in trying to manage all the things that I have going on in my life.
Oh man, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think for me, what my elders used to tell me, there two types of men in the world: men that create problems and men that cause problems. And I try to be on that path of solving problems, even though sometimes, life, hey man, life can be unbearable sometimes. Us being in the military, whatnot, we know what that means. Trying to
Yep.
find that, trying to find that balance with duty and family, man. It was chaotic, but it made me better because it made me realize how much stuff I can truly overcome. how much stuff I can really, really get accomplished, even when you're back against the wall and you got all that pressure around you. And what K Dub had, man, is what you were brought into, what you were marinated in, man. And all
Mm-hmm.
like you said at the beginning of his story, it all starts at home, man. How you brought up the discipline that your parents gave you and what they shared to you and what they showed you and whatnot. And you just try to carry that tradition on to your adult life and to your family one day, or whatever the case may be, man. So being, like I said, man, being resilient, man, is one of the key components you need for leadership, man. Because
Mm.
you can't really follow a leader that can't bounce back from adversity, because adversity is gonna come no matter what you do, how you do it, even if you think you did it perfectly. Life can pretty much slap the taste out your mouth, man. That's just what it is.
How did Mike Tyson say? You one fight away from being truly humble. That's
Oh,
just the honest to God truth. So and
And,
moving and
and
moving toward what's up?
no, I'm just saying having that like a cornerback mentality is saying just to play the next play. I mean, you got to have a short term memory with a lot of
uh,
things in life, man. Just
Okay.
each day is gonna compound, and just like I say, take each day for what it is. Don't think it's gonna be a bad day. It's just a bad moment. So it is what it is, man.
Most definitely, family. So the next thing that we're gonna talk about right now, we're gonna actually get on last week's game. You have three takeaways from the New Orleans game that we're gonna talk about, and then we're gonna talk about how that Falcons defense kept the New Orleans Saints out in the end zone, and can this trend continue? So the three things that we're gonna talk about, Bankhead Bates, that investment is paying off.
oh
That
man.
was the best investment we
Whew.
made,
He
and
need
then
a
you still. And here's the other thing. I got to give two positives, and then I got to give the negative spill on it. Those are the three things we're gonna take away from this, and I'm gonna let you guys chime in on this one. I'm gonna open this thing up like a fresh wound with some salt in it. That's how I'm
Oh,
opening it up.
why I gotta be like that?
Hey man, because it's a painful thing when we talk about accountability and taking things for what it is.
True,
But
true, true.
then you have Atlanta's running game. Our running game has finally started to show back up. They're finally starting to wise up, use Tyler Algier a little bit more, and you're using Cordell Patterson. But we know they held out Patterson because they want him to have fresh legs throughout the playoffs. We said this in the offseason. Let the two young bucks run. You give him some touches, but you use him when playoff time comes when them legs are fresh and he run angry like he did against them stinking bagheads. And lastly, and I'm gonna let you guys chop in on this one. Arthur Smith and Desmond Ritter are still problematic for the Birds. Arthur Smith kills momentum with bad play calling. He moves away from what's hot right then and there. He stays away from. He goes off of it too quick, and Desmond turns over the ball and it kills momentum, and it keeps our defense on the field a lot longer than they should be. How do you guys feel like these three takeaways that we've scouted, we talked about? What do you think with these three takeaways? How do you guys feel about the takeaways that I'm providing for you guys today? And I want your opinions on it. So, Gray Beard, I'm gonna let you go first, and I'm gonna let K Dub swing the bat on this.
Well, for me, man, I think the running game, to me, I think it be there. I just think we go away from it too freaking early. I think Arthur Smith trying to get too cute, trying to get too, trying to be like I'm this new futuristic head coach and whatnot. I'm like, man, pump your brakes, man. You ain't put in that much work yet. Even though you worked your way up to the rank, but for a head coach, you still don't have a winning record as a head coach. Work on that first. So I think for Arthur Smith, man, he just need to remember this is what really got you the head coaching job. Running the football, finding creative ways to run the football and and keep away and play keep away with the other team, man, and work with that clock. And I think secondly, him and Desmond Ritter gotta find a way to get on the same sheet of music. If this offense can really want to truly flow the way it should, they have to be on the same sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of theory, they'll be on the same sheet of music. Offense is flowing. You can see the continuity. That couple of plays, man. Devin Ritter looking at him and Arthur Smith is putting the head like, oh my goodness, and whatever the case may be as well. So they got to work on that. They got to become continuity between head coach and quarterback. And for Desmond Ritter, man, he just gotta try to stop the making the perfect play. You're not gonna make the perfect play. You can make a good play, you can make a great play. You're not gonna make a perfect play. And I think sometimes he try to force that football in there, trying to make in them tight windows, trying to make a perfect play, but you can't really do that because you really ain't you only you still developing like a quarterback on the NFL level. And you're gonna get somebody like Tyron Matthew who got a Super Bowl in their belt and who could kind of be veteran in the game. He gonna pick you off, and man, he gonna make it chaos for you, whatever the case may be. So I just think for us like a football team moving forward, Austin Smith, hopefully he looked at the game film and be like, look, this is the key to Austin Smith and making a playoff run. I just need to be consistent. I need to let Desmond Ritter play ball. And for Desmond Ritter, I really truly need him to be patient. Remember, he got more tools in his toolbox. Utilize them. And you know what I'm saying? We'll be all right.
Well, what I think about the situation that we have with the coach and the quarterback is we had a great game plan last week. He needed to copy and paste that game plan. And like I say, use his legs more, stretch the defenses out. Because you're at a young age. You know, it may take you 3, 4 years into this league before those hits start to wear on you, where you want to be more in the pocket. But right now, we need a very mobile Desmond Ritter. We need you to use those legs a lot more to matriculate that ball. So and continue to protect the ball. I've seen that you tried to have two hands on the ball last game, which you worked on. Continue to do the same things and limit limit the passing plays. I think we're geared to run. The offensive line wants to run block. I understand that we want to pass, but the line seems to want to run block. So let's run the football, stick to the three-headed monster, continue to share and spread the carries around equally, and not just get so high strung on Bijan Robinson and just figure it out and to continue to do what we do and play outstanding defense on the back end. I believe we should get a win this week if we just continue to get out our own way. But that's
Hmm.
what I feel like. And we need to continue to develop the offense around Desmond Ritter. I understand that you have plays that work for Ryan Tannehill or whoever else, but we need plays that work for Desmond Ritter that he feels
Agreed.
very, very comfortable with,
Definitely agree with
that
that.
he likes find the plays that he likes to run and let him run them. And you can now, for us the running plays, you are good at calling them because you had a Derrick Henry. Now you have all kind of different ice cream flavors. So you that's fine that you call in the running game. But when you start just for these throwing these passing plays, find the first 15 to 20 plays that Desmond Ritter is very, very comfortable with that he likes to run and can run and continue to keep running them so we run them where he can run them in his sleep. And I think those are the things. Those are the key things that we need to do. And I believe Bankhead Bates needs a bonus check, even though he gets paid pretty well already,
He just got the deal, man.
Not $64
and he
million.
still need a bonus.
He's one of the highest paid players in the league at his position. But I'll say this.
And and he still need a bonus check. Just. Uh, I think
I agree
we
with that.
just ain't getting him enough. I just want to end with that. But go ahead. I mean, I just want to end with that.
So we got Anthony. Anthony Booker just said, he says, I'm not a Ritter apologist, but I would like to give the young man some credit after mistakes and interception. He never falls apart and seems to come back and make plays. But again, like we said earlier, it's what you're marinated in. Because here's the thing: when you have guys that have never faced adversity in life, you know what happens when they deal with real life situations and when they're playing football. They heart pump Kool-Aid. They ain't got no
Mm,
doggone, they ain't got no ice water. I'm just gonna keep it real. And when you look at that quarterback position, you have to have the mindset. You have to have the mindset of being able to bounce back, but you also need to assess your mistakes and correct what you're doing wrong, so you're not putting the team in harm's way. Because
absolutely.
you can't keep turning the ball over because you're giving up possessions.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Well, here's the thing, Mike, because Mike is pretty much all. Mike has been beating the drum for Ritter not to be here since day one. So let me make sure I put that out here for everybody. So if you see Mike really commenting on this quarterback situation, He's been saying it since day one. So y'all know about Mike. But here's the thing, Mike. I'll say this, and I'm not disputing anything that you're saying because you're absolutely right. He does put us behind the eight ball when he makes mistakes. But we've had issues with our pass blocking this year as well. We've had issues with the snaps. Let's just say it for what it is, man. How many snaps have been fumbled because of bad snaps from not having a good center?
It's been a
Ritter
lot.
Ritter has 7 fumbles this year. 2 of them was in the end zone. That I'm not hiding. 2 of them, no, those were on him. But out of the 7, 5 of those were on your center. 5 of those were on your center. So it was the same thing Mariota dealt with last year. But I'll say this: getting back to the takeaways, the run game definitely is going to travel because you're coming up into right around the Newark, New Jersey area. Yeah, you tend to miss those snaps or whatnot, just like Miami mishandled that snap with Georgia Tech earlier this year when you got the game in hand. I owed you for that, what you said to me.
That
Look, I ain't had my medicine today, so I'm snapping on folks today. I'm just joking, Mike. I really got a soft spot for Miami. I was pissed that they lost to Georgia Tech because they lost me $50 on that game.
they should have
That's
fired
why
their
I'm
whole.
snapping.
They should have fired their whole coaching staff for that.
I'm
That
just
was
joking. I'm
horrible.
not a gambler. I'm just joking. I'm not a gambler. That's not my thing. I don't like
Jeez.
wasting money. But no, but being real though, I'll be honest with you. I think that they're a few years away from even being competitive again because this year they had a pretty good year, and they have some guys. And to me, I feel like they got some guys that we need to be looking at to bring to Atlanta. They really do have some ball players down there.
I
So
like they.
I'm
I
a
like their
clown, but
left
I'm
guard.
also throw that out there. But as for Ritter, you got to cut down on your turnovers. This is one of the 3 things you got to cut down on. You
Definitely.
figured out you had legs last week. You see that you open a lot of things up when you run and you get out of the pocket because they have to scheme for you. And that makes it very hard for a defense because if Algiers running wild, you got Bijan running wild, and you got a few things coming, you're going to be in a situation to where you can make something happen with your arm. But your legs are going to be the defining factor of being able to open things out. Open things up. So those are my 3 takeaways that I have for the game. And yeah, Coach Brandt said it as well. It wasn't just you. Coach Brandt also said it too. He said when Ritter uses his legs, we win. Period.
Yeah, definitely
And,
Yeah,
does.
and thank you.
definitely.
What's going on? Aisha, my guy that's in Dog Nation with us, K-Dub. I got Aisha
What
Murphy,
it
man. What's
is?
going on, Aisha?
Dog Nation.
What it is,
Dog
Yes,
dog
Nation.
sir.
nation,
You see
man.
what it is. But
You know
I
what
agree, we
time
do
it
need a
is.
new center. Ooh. We got the militant one stepping into the cage with us tonight. We got Coach Cam in the building.
Why I gotta be
Co-
militant, bro? Jeez.
hey,
Man,
come on.
you looking like Malcolm X did when he was standing by that window with them glasses on, bro. That's all we see is your glasses.
With
That's what
the
you looking like right now.
with peeking out the blinds like
Oh,
who?
He out there peeking out the blinds. So we just jumped on the takeaways of Atlanta, bro. So here's the thing that we're also going. Mike said you're in witness protection, bro.
Witness protection.
Hey, you see Cam got the
Oh
red light on in the back,
man.
right? You just see a silhouette. Hey man, turn
Red
on the light,
light.
man.
Turn off the red
All we see is your
light.
glasses. Thank you.
Man
All
said
right.
witness protection.
Now he look like he about to get interrogated now. You know you done messed up now.
Oh man, not that thing.
Yeah, I had to go back. I had to go back to Minister Society for y'all
oh,
for a second, y'all.
y'all ain't right, bro. Y'all ain't no good.
No, that's all right though. We love you, bro, but we got to get on you. We got to get you. But the
Oh,
Falcons. So let's get to it. The Falcons defense keeps New Orleans out of the end zone. With that type of performance that the defense had last week, I believe we can beat anybody. Ritter just can't turn the ball over because if that defense can keep good offenses out of the end zone or at least limit them to field goals from what we did last week, we win ball games because our running game is starting to pick up again. It's picking up again. And I really believe that maybe we ride this momentum for the rest of the year and this defense gets back to what happens because of the offense not having good time of possession, they've been worn out. So we haven't been able to put the performances together like they did against New Orleans. So do you guys feel like this was because it was a rivalry game, or do you feel as if this is actually going to turn into form with this defense this year where we can actually start stifling some folks?
Well, I think we have a defense that's starting to gel and starting to learn to play without Grady Jarrett. Some of the places, the people that we replaced them with are starting to, get more familiar to what Ryan Nielsen is expecting, and you start to see the fruits of the labor. But also, like you just pointed out, when they're not on the field all day, and we have substantial drives, and we're putting up points, and we're running the football and getting back to our identity. Then the defense can play a lot more loose and a lot more free and not be so tired. And if they're not put in bad field position, they can also make a lot of plays.
Mm, okay. So so Anthony
But
Book
yeah,
is asking a question right now. He's asking, with Ritter improving each game and they run the table winning these last 6 games, what are y'all thoughts? Mm.
It can happen, but I
It,
thought,
it's not gonna be easy. I
yeah,
believe we can get. I think we can get 4 out of 6. We can tell if we take the Jets down, Carolina, I'm not worried about. Tampa Bay, they got to come see us in our house. We got to go to New Orleans, so that game can go either way.
I just think, man, like I said last Sunday, man, if we go 51 in this division, we gonna win the division, and we're pretty much gonna get that wild card spot. But I just think it's gonna start with Arthur Smith and Desmond Ritter getting on the game sheet and being able to build that continuity between head coach and quarterback. And
Mhm.
I also think for us, man, offensively, man, when we control the clock, we win the football game. That's one of the key things we need to do. We need to be able to stand third down offensively and let our defense get the rest that they need. Because the defense play like that next week, we gon' that right there should give us nothing but more momentum to go ahead and get ready for the rest of our divisional game or whatnot. But it starts with Austin Smith and it starts with figuring out Desmond Ritter, getting on the game sheet. It starts with Desmond Ritter not turning over the football, not trying to force the football in tight windows or in double and triple coverage, man. Just utilize, hey, let me get what I can and live to play another down instead of trying to get that perfect pass in and get a turnover.
Now, Cam. Now, looking at the rest of this schedule, we got to take it one game at a time. Can't look ahead because right now, I my prediction was 10 wins this year. I said
Mhm.
10. Still a possibility that could happen if they reel off 6 wins. But if they don't, at least if they have the most wins out of the division, we still can host at least the first game of the playoffs at home. And the thing is, like, folks aren't realizing all you got to do is get in.
Mhm.
You might have to play on the road, but you got to get in. Just get in because it's. I think Mr. James Buster Douglas said it the best before he viciously whipped Mike Tyson's ass. Viciously whipped him. I
Oh
say
boy.
this. And well, he talked to his father, Bill Dynamite Douglas, who was a heck of a fighter himself. And their relationship was a little fractured after he fired his daddy. They came back together before that fight. His daddy said, "Hey, let your hands go and let the chips fall.
Yeah, definitely did that.
You get in, you let you get in, you let your hands flow, and you let the chips fall. Because the thing is, ain't nobody's gonna give us a shot.
Mhm.
Nobody's gonna give us a shot, even if we win a division and get in. Because everybody sees what Philly is doing, everybody sees what Dallas is doing.
Mhm.
But the thing that
Losing.
folks do not understand is this: everybody can have a bad day. We found that out when we went 14-2.
Whew.
Mhm.
I'll never forget that. I
No,
couldn't.
I got to bring it up because we lost to a team that was struggling. Think
Yeah.
about it.
And
We
they
lost
won.
to we lost to teams that were good, but they had to fix their season. Look at the Arizona Cardinals. The year they went to the Super Bowl, they had
Mhm.
to fix a lot of stuff that year with Kurt Warner, Adrian James coming in and out with some personal things he was dealing with. and they found a way to get to the Super Bowl. They got hot at the right time.
With
So,
Ken Wigenhunt.
yep. So all I say is if it, and Wizard Hunt was a former tight end for our Falcons,
Yep, he
by the
was.
way. But just look at this schedule, Cam, and I want your opinion on this. We've got New York this week. This week we have Tampa next week, Carolina the following week. We have Indianapolis, but they're coming to Atlanta, so we're not playing in their area, but it's still going to be a rough game because they're tough. And then you have the Bears. Well, we got to go to Chicago in the cold, but the Chicago Bears don't scare me because they're not good. So we might get to see Justin Fields get put on his butt. I know that's Mike's. Mike wanted him in Atlanta, but I want to see that defense put him on his butt. And then lastly, we got to play them stinking the visitors.
Honestly, the two games that worry me the most are the Jets this Sunday. The reason why those two games scare me the most is because Atlanta has been notoriously known for playing down to the competition.
Fact.
And once we do that, we put ourselves behind the 8 ball, and then here we go trying to force the game. Ritter, as much, and everyone knows how much I've loved Ritter from day one. This was the only quarterback that I really wanted out of the draft. If he doesn't find a way to control the ball in crunch time situations, that is going to bite us in the rear end, especially when it comes to the playoffs.
Right.
So the one thing that we have to look at, if we look at our season so far in totality, our best called football game was against the Green Bay Packers. It was the most fluid offense that we have seen thus far this season. If we could go back to that, if we can get back to that for the rest of the season, allow Desmond to use his legs where he doesn't forget he has them. And if our receivers can, let me take Drake out of this because Drake has been immaculate this whole season, bringing in tough catches, catching the ball at the height of the pass, and he's getting open frequently. We just can't get the ball to him.
Yep.
All of it starts with the O-line though, because there were plays that we talked about this week where we actually picked apart where the play broke down. So usually, as long as the O-line holds up to whoever in any window, that's not the problem. Is when he's forced to have to try to figure it out in less than 2 seconds. That's where all. So
Cam, you going in and out, bro.
I'm in a real bad area right now. I'm outside.
Man, you ain't getting no good reception out there in that open desert like that.
Ain't too many towers out there, my friend.
Too many towers out there in Arizona.
No. We have one tower. One.
Damn. Dang. Sounds like all right.
Okay. Okay. Let me get some hot sauce real quick because I literally just put my foot in my mouth, so I might as well go ahead and get some flavor with it.
Hey,
but okay, but just think about this, man. These last 6 games are very winnable. They're very obtainable for the Falcons.
Yeah.
And if we play anything like we did against New Orleans with our hair on fire, we could possibly reel off these wins. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. They might, but my thing is, as long as we clean house with the division, I'm fine with it. Because as our guy Anthony Booker spoke about a little while ago, the New York Giants did it with a 9-7 record, and they won the Super Bowl, and they were a wild card team. So they got hot at the right time. They did it 2 times as a wild card team.
And beat Tom Brady on top of that.
And here's the thing. If Atlanta somehow gets hot and makes the wild card, and I'm just putting a scenario out there. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not saying that we're going to win the Super Bowl. So please do not get it. That's it. If it is a It is a hypothetical situation. So I cleared that up. If the Falcons get hot at the right time, Ritter figures out how to stop turning over the ball miraculously, and he plays like gangbusters. We run the football, and that defense continues to play like they're playing. It's a possibility they can make noise in the playoffs. Very strong possibility, because everybody sees Atlanta, they're gonna think it's an easy cakewalk fight. I got a cousin of mine who I talked to last night. What's going on, Sterling? I'm not gonna put your whole name out there, but I'm gonna put your first name out there because you're a stinking Cowboys fan, and I done had to hear from you for years. But again, Sterling, I'm gonna tell you just what my cousin told me. He said, he does not want to play Atlanta on the road in Atlanta for a playoff game. He said that. And he said every other team, you'd rather play them on the road because we're not good on the road. But at home, you don't want to play Atlanta because it's not the crowd that you got to worry about. Because here's the thing. We got wishy-washy fans. They either there sometimes, they're not, or you have, like I said, or we'll create a hostile environment like they did for New Orleans. But I'll say this. Ritter's only lost, was that one time at home?
Yeah.
One time? These guys only got one loss on the record at home. It's on the road that you got to worry about. And that's what's scary. Now, here's the other thing that's been balancing stuff out. DeMarco Hellams is starting to get more reps with the starting defense.
Finally.
Richard Grant, your days are numbered, bro. That's what that's telling everybody. Hellams he's continuing to impress. A lot of pass breakups. He's in position. He has a nose for the football. And this young man continues to get better. Imagine once he becomes a starter and takes over. Just imagine what's going to happen. We can honestly sit back and say that Hellams will be a force to reckon with back then with JB3.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Because who's the emotional leader on our defense? We don't have one. And
Hellams will be that guy.
And Hellams showed us on Sunday, he will step in and be that guy. He going to hit you and let you know you got hit.
I'll take a 15-yard penalty.
I'll take that all day long because I'm setting the tone for the rest of this game.
I love it.
I might cuss you out on the sideline. I might cuss you out on the sideline, but then when we get in the locker room, hey, every week I need you to set the tone. I don't care. We'll take it. And it's not that he's a cheap shot artist, because he's not.
No.
The boy just is a hitter. And I feel like he might have grew up. I think he might have been born in the wrong era, if you ask me. Because we gonna get a targeting call on him eventually. I got a feeling it's gonna happen.
It's coming.
It's coming. But I like DeMarco Hellams. I really believe that he's going to be an anchor for years to come for this defense. So now, getting to, as we would say, you get to the meat and potato of this, we're going to talk about these Falcons versus these Jets. Now, what ties into the Falcons versus the Jets at this point is this. Atlanta has made 4 changes out of the bye week. You had more Cordell Patterson. He had 16, last game he had 16 snaps, 8 carries for 43 yards, 43 angry yards at that. Like we just touched on, DeMarco Hellams, he played 36 snaps last Sunday, which was pretty much majority of the time he was on the field with that defense. He had 7 solo tackles. Bijan Robinson is becoming a focal point of this offense. Arthur Smith is continuing to make him a focal point. Now, we've had our arguments about it. We've had our disagreements on that. I still feel like Tyler Algier needs to be the starter. I feel like you can work Bijan in there. This is just something I'm pointing out, but they are making Bijan Simmons the focal point. Dave Ragone moved from the booth down to the field. He can actually get in Arthur Smith's face now and say, hey, we're not going to run this. Even though Arthur's calling the plays, run this. Because it's easy to talk to somebody when you're on the headset or when you're on the phone. It's a lot harder when somebody's standing in your face if you're not built to handle face-to-face confrontations.
I
So
agree.
I believe that kind of changed the dynamics of that play calling as well. But those are the 4 changes that we've had. And I'm just skipping through some stuff because I'm gonna let you guys cook in a second. For you gamblers out there, the Falcons are 2.5-point favorites so far. That number might increase, but as of today, they're 2.5-point favorites versus the Jets. So they're pretty much already accounting for the Falcons playing down to the competition. That's pretty much what they're telling me.
Of course.
It's what we do. What we do.
Don't even listen. Don't even say that. But we're gonna get down to what we call the tail of the tape, just like a heavyweight fight. So at this point, the Falcons, we've taken some lumps. We're trying to get back into the fold of things. I would say right now, they're not the Evander Holyfield type of fighter. I'm sorry. If you had to classify the Falcons as a boxer, I like classic boxers. I like modern day boxers. I would have to say the Falcons are more like Miracle Matthew Sahad, a legendary Philly fighter who was, he became a champion. Yeah, and listen, I'm a historian for a reason, dog. And that guy right there was a monster.
I heard that name in a minute, though.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Atlanta Falcons are Miracle Matthew. And the reason I use that as an example is because you look at all the hard times that he came up. He was left as a 3-year-old by the freeway, by the freeway over by I forget the pass. It's gonna eat me up that I can't remember the pass that he was left under. I'm sorry. It was actually over by the art museum steps on the backside of damn, it'll come to me later. I'm sorry, I can't even remember the street, but he was left on the backside of the art museum steps, just walking by himself. A nun found him. It's just like the Falcons right now. Look at all the bumps and bruises we've had. You go back to being 14-2, losing at home in the playoffs. You lose to the Packers in the playoffs. You drop the Super Bowl. You lose to the Eagles in the playoffs. When you look at all the bumps and bruises you go through, Miracle Matthew Sahad, he would always get up and he'd always keep fighting all the way through. And he had a smile. You look at this Falcon team, they're scrappy, they're tough. They get up, they smile, and they keep fighting. They're tough as hell. You're not just going to beat them right off the bat. So the Jets right now are in turmoil, period. The Jets are in turmoil. Their season has been, vanquished somewhat since Aaron Rodgers went down.
I'm talking about the first period. That was terrible. My goodness.
And when you look at it, I would have to say, if I'm comparing them to a fighter, I would have to say it would be like Willie Boogaloo Watts, man. They would be like Willie Boogaloo Watts. It's just one of them things.
Talking about throwback.
That's what I would compare the Jets to. They're not consistent enough, period. That was what killed Willie. But I'm just getting back to it now. The tail of the tape. Birdz are 2.5-point favorites, as we talked about. The Jets are 4-7. Then you have Tim Boyle starting against the Falcons. 3 interceptions in his start so far.
Man.
Right now, this is a game that the Falcons should eat. They should eat.
Beyond eat. They should devour.
You know what? We've said this before.
And, it gets better. I'm going to let you guys cook, but it gets better. The Jets' offense is ranked 21 overall in the league. Their defense is ranked 30th. 32 teams in the league, and they're ranked 2 spots above. Carolina's right down there with them. So all I'm saying is, with the Falcons' offense, we're ranked 16th. With our defense, we're ranked 14th. We took a bit of a hit because we were in the top 10 for a while. But, the last couple of losses really hurt us and it dropped us. Yeah. So the question is, when are these Falcons going to start smiling like Miracle Matthew and start throwing these right hands and these left hands and start beating people down? Because we've taken enough body shots this year. I think it's time for us to start putting some punishment out there. What do you guys think? I'm going to let Graybeard go first, and I'm going to let Cam go.
Whenever our head coach get out of his own way, I mean, that's where it starts, man. I just think, for me, man, with this Jet team, they're literally hoping and praying that Aaron Rodgers come back before Christmas from a freaking Achilles injury. I don't care who you are. You don't come back just like that from an Achilles injury. And no, I'm not gonna get on that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And let he don't win and got some bionic part that we don't know about. But here's the deal, man. I think for us, if we ever want to make a statement to let people know that we are legit and we are really want to make a playoff push, you go to the Jet team that pretty much been in disarray get the opening get their opening series and you beat them like they stole something. Simple and easy. From a quarterback that nobody even knew who got drafted. I don't even know if he got drafted or he was undrafted
You
free
down in
agent.
Eastern Kentucky.
I mean, nobody knew who the kid was. No disrespect. No
I
different.
mean,
Nobody knew who the kid
well,
was or whatever
no,
the case may
nobody.
be.
Look, none of us know who he is, but up in New York, they know who he is because let's put it this way: he's hosed them, bruh. 3 interceptions. Yeah, I'm talking about. It wasn't even. It has. He hasn't even played 2 full games, and the man that turned the ball over like that.
And the thing about it is, man, we as Falcon fans, we a Falcon, and we a fan and whatnot. We have a tendency to make subpar quarterback look like all pros and Hall of Famers, and this is where it needs to stop. We better not let this man pretty much come. I mean, we better not go to New York and let this man get up here and get comfortable in the pocket and make him look like the second coming of freaking Joe Hollywood Namath. That's all I have to. I mean, we better not. And I think it starts like I can by Arthur Smith sticking to the game plan, running the football, making sure we're not putting too much on Desmond Ritter plate. Let him be able to use his leg and his athleticism. Come on, Mike, you got to do better than that, fam. But
I got
let
to.
him
I
use it.
got to disagree with you on that, bro. This is a
Yeah,
game that Desmond already had 1 300-yard game. This is a game against the 30th overall ranked defense, 30th overall. Reddy need to have 200 plus, 250 plus in this game. I'm sorry.
got
Against
to.
this defense,
With the weapons that we have at our disposal, this ought to be Kyle Pitt and Johnny Smith coming out party and celebration
can we?
along with freaking Draco and B. John Robinson and freaking Tyler Algier.
That ain't
They
the only thing. Can we get some? Can we get a Scotty Miller sighting, please?
for real, man, because they ain't that good at kickoff and punt recovery as well. So
Thank you.
I'm just looking at this Jet team, man. We thought we were bad.
Hmm.
Even with the weapons they got with Garrett Wilson, Breek Hall, Dalvin Cook, who they don't even freaking use. I mean, it for me, man. If we literally go up there and get beat by this horrendous, horrendous team, people, if you think Arthur Smith feet wasn't on fire now, oh, it gonna be burnt to a crisp if he lose to this freaking team. That's all I got to say.
Homeboy feet gonna be on fire like a Georgia scorcher.
Cam,
I'm
what you
telling
got, man?
you, if you lose, it's gonna be bad. But I don't think we're gonna lose this ball game. I think we're gonna go ahead and handle business, take care of what we need to take care of. Go up in New York, have a little bit of Junior's cheesecake. What you know what I'm saying? Go to Nathan's or whatnot. Get you. Or, well, shoot, don't even go to Nathan's, man. Go to the corner. Go to the Arab hot dog, man. Those hot dogs are much better than Nathan. Nathan's is commercial, man. You gotta go to the bodegas to get the good hot dogs, man. I know a little bit. I know a little bit about New York and whatnot. I'm not that far, so. And then if you're ever in New York, check out Cat's Deli. Best pastrami sandwiches, not sandwiches, sandwiches. Like my man, bruh man
Bro,
from the
man.
fifth floor used to say.
Fact,
Get you a couple of pastrami sandwiches.
fact.
But I mean, with all that good food and everything up there, my thing is make it a business trip.
Appreciate you.
Put foots between. All I can say is put foots between them hip pockets. Get up out of there. Get your cheesecake. Go across the Brooklyn Bridge. Do it like Diddy had them folks doing it, and get that cheesecake and slide on back. Just don't go. Just don't go to none of the parties that's been going on. But
Man, but 50 giving him hell, man. My goodness.
as he should. Take that. Take that. Take that.
Hey, Cam, what you think the defense gonna do against the horrendous offense, man?
Honestly, if you look at it, it's like playing the mirror of ourselves.
Well, I'll give you this. I'll say this because we ain't gonna spend. We ain't got too much material to cover when it comes to these old stinking Jets. They just as horrible as you wanna believe it, man. Riding this buzzer beat. So all I'm saying is this. Now we're gonna wrap it up with a serious topic, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Von Miller had a warrant for his arrest for a domestic violence. It was reported that he had a domestic violence situation with a pregnant woman. Now, first and foremost, I'm gonna say this: no man should ever put his hands on a woman. Fact. First and foremost, I don't care. Period. Walk away. Walk away. Now if you're trying to get away and she pull a gun on you, slap the gun out of her hand and run. Just letting you know that now, because you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it in the judicial system with everything that's going on. And it's sad to say it, but this is what's up. Right now, I'm gonna say this. We gotta wait till all the facts come out. Mm-hmm. We got to see how everything plays out. But it was just reported today that happened. There's no place in this world for domestic violence. Period. If a woman makes you that mad, bruh, walk away. Y'all need to break up. You need to leave. You need to leave the premises. Sleep in your car if you have to. Get out of there, because nothing ever is going to come good of that when you put your hands on a woman. Nothing ever good is gonna come of that. And like I said, the only time that you might get a pass with that is if your life is in danger. If you have a weapon pulled on you to where she is trying to take your life. If you can't run and you gotta find a way to get out, shove her out of the way and haul ass. Run. Period. No way a 240-something pound man should be whooping on a woman, and a pregnant woman at that. My heart goes out to that young lady and that child. Hopefully they're okay. But we don't have all the details on the story. This was just published. But what needs to happen is, if you're gonna put, for you media heads out here that watch the show, and it's no knock on you and disrespect, if you're gonna put out information that's like that, you need to go ahead and make sure you have a little bit more details instead of just putting out the initial police report. Absolutely. You need to have it. Period. Absolutely. So in this situation, I think that what's going to happen now, the NFL is not playing with domestic violence at all. So Buffalo is pretty much going to be able to terminate that contract.
Oh yeah, he gone.
They're going to be able to terminate that contract, and I don't think he's going to get on anywhere else, because it's going to look bad for not just him. It's going to look bad for the NFL. It's going to look bad for other organizations if they bring that in. So the last thing you need to do is bring in someone who is, and what makes it worse is he's a leader in the locker room. That's what makes it worse. He's a leader in the locker room. Now, he's human. I get it. We're all human. But you are a leader in your locker room. No tolerance for that. None at all. So if you can't play nice, if you can't keep your hands to yourself, if you feel someone gets you that upset, especially the opposite sex, you need to go the other way.
I mean, I agree. You remember? Hey man, you remember Greg? You remember Greg Hardy, the Kraken? You remember how that went down? Him almost similar to that. Like you said, we don't got all the information. We don't know all what happened. But I do agree with you, man. Unfortunately, in the era that we live in, men are guilty until proven innocent. women are innocent until proven guilty in the eye of the law. It's been out there for a long time. It probably ain't gonna change no time soon.
I agree.
I
But
mean,
yeah, with just
Carmen.
but
Yes.
to piggyback off what Ryan was saying, yeah, the women is usually always right. So in that instance, like you said, sleep in the car, man. I mean, you got to do something to get away from them, or it's time to leave the relationship or whatever you have going on with that particular woman. Because putting your hands on a woman is never going to be good in that light. Because we could easily break them and just simple. Cause I mean, you know, what I'm saying that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens in this league with all the drugs and the different steroids and stuff these guys are taking to continue to compete at that level. And you could have a lot of it could be a roid rage or something like that, trying to take certain things to recover from these injuries. And he had a slip up moment, but he's gonna have to pay for it dearly. So,
Oh yeah.
um, I
And,
mean,
but
it
here's the
is what
thing,
it is. We can't.
I can't even call that a slip up moment. You know, first off, you're dealing with and they said a young lady was pregnant. So you already understand those hormones are
Oh no. I mean,
up and down.
I'm
No,
not
no, I know,
justifying
no, I'm not
anything.
saying that. I know, I get what you're saying, but I'm making sure I paint the picture for the viewers that
Yeah.
that heard that part, but they might not know that the young lady is pregnant. So she's already hitting a woman is a no, but a pregnant woman, that's even a worse no.
Nah, man. Yeah, it can't go
So,
down like that.
but hey, you make that choice. You literally have just thrown away your career. It's a Hall of Fame career, and now you might not even get into the Hall of Fame or whatnot. Even though you've done marvelous things on the field, won a championship, and you've been in a situation to where you've led the league in sacks and you've done so many great things with organizations off the field. But that right there is going to be a permanent black eye that you're going to wear for the rest of your life.
It
Not
is,
worth
man. It is, man. Look. T.O. ain't never did nothing like that. Look how long it took him to get in the league. What you think they're gonna do to him?
Yeah.
Very true. OJ. I ain't gonna even mention OJ. Let me leave that one. That'll start up a whole lot.
Don't bring him, man. Don't bring him, man. Don't bring up the Jew. Don't bring up
Don't
the
bring
Jew.
up the juice.
I
Don't
say
bring
this, and here's the other thing. This is not his first domestic violence charge either. This is, I think, his second time. So it's not like he don't
Whoa.
know.
Yeah. This ain't this your secretary. Ain't no slip up. You the repeat
with the same woman.
offender.
With the same woman, unfortunately.
Oh
You're a
yeah.
repeat offender. So
Yeah,
at
you
this
done.
point, your career is done, dog. They getting ready to ostracize you like they do OJ. But see, they can't take OJ out of the franchise. But what Buffalo did, which was it was that's one of the most disrespectful things you can do, but they don't care. They took that 32 that was retired off of the Raptors and put it on a scrub player, if y'all remember.
Mm.
Yeah, they did.
So
And that man went for 2,000 yards.
exactly. Exactly. OJ rushed for 2,000 yards. So, brother, your career at this point, if you got any kind of love in Denver, all that's done went out the window for you too. So
I hope you
it is
saved your
what it
money.
is.
I hope you
But
saved your money. That's all I got to say.
we not gonna keep this thing going, man. I want to appreciate Coach Cam for coming through. K Dub always clutch as usual, and the salt and pepper man, Mr. Graybeard himself, Mr. Glenn, and me. I'm
Man.
the historian. We got you covered for next week. Really, we're gonna be same time next week, Thursday at 8. We just, like I said, last week we just had Thanksgiving. That was why we switched today. And outside of that, we're definitely gonna have an after game. See, after these Jets and these Falcons play on Sunday. So we're gonna have the after, I plan on having a party line on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. More partying.
We just can't play down our competition and
God,
let
no.
them and give them any kind of hope. I'm gonna tell you this here, if we lose to the Jets, I'm just gonna get me a paper bag and put it over my head. I'm
Boy,
sorry.
if we lose to
I'm sorry.
if we
You
lose
lose
to
to the Jets, I got to look. Because Falcon fans at one point wore bags over their head. We lose to the Jets, I'm wearing a bag over my head on the show. I
if we
can't,
if if
I just that's
if
just
we
disappointing.
if we lose to a kid that nobody even know that was in the league, but Jet fan, I'm telling you something, man. Beyond a benediction, man, we might need to get back to again. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you.
Man, we might have a funeral opposed to the benediction if we lose to the
Yeah, that
Jets.
might not be a bad idea. That might be the funeral
Shoot, we
probably.
might have a funeral.
A
Put
wake.
Freddie might look. Freddie might take a nap in the casket while you playing. Shoot,
It might be a wake. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. We be there. Look, we be there. We be done went to Willie Watkins or whatever and put it. Bring him up on here. But outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, we getting ready to step to it. But once again, shout out to them Georgia Bulldogs. Everybody keep talking about they gonna get upset. What if Georgia gets upset? It's gonna be chaos. What if I'm gonna tell you just like this here. All y'all people out here that want us to fall, it is what it is. We used to nobody not liking us. We were used to being the butt of everybody's jokes and everything, and they winning and y'all can't stand it. Remember this. Kirby is under 50 years old and he ain't going nowhere. So even if they don't three-peat, which I want the three-peat, because if we three-peat, I'm gonna be unbearable. I'm letting you know that now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be unbearable, especially to y'all Alabama fans.
You ain't gonna hate me.
And y'all Gator fans gonna hate me. Y'all gonna hate me.
But they hate each other right now, so I ain't even worried about that.
Nah, but I'm just saying, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I'm just tired of people putting dirt on the dogs like they trash this year.
No, I just hate the fact that they think we can't beat Alabama again. Like they was only a one-time thing that Georgia can do. Man, let me tell y'all something, man.
They only have the lettering across their chest. They're living off the reputation. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Tell that to Tech.
I'm not gonna say my cousin's name. She's best friends with Dallas Turner's mom. I'll leave it out there like that, and I'm letting you know, cuz if Dallas Turner does cheap shot Carson Beck, just understand we got dudes on our offensive line that don't mind putting hands on him. So I'm letting you know that now. But I would love to have a Dallas Turner for the Atlanta Falcons.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I despise him now, but look, bring him on home. I take old Dallas Turner. We need to have a cheap look. We need to have somebody who don't mind mixing it up with DeMarco Hellams. You know what I'm saying? I told you we need some guys that might have some questionable pass or have some questionable plays sometimes. We need them on defense.
Yeah, we need some knuckleheads. Every team needs it.
No, just head, man. We need some straight up dogs, bro.
Yeah.
But this is definitely gonna be, like I said, this is definitely gonna be a good weekend for everybody. The Falcons should go ahead and take apart these Jets. And again, lastly, like I said, we just need these dogs to go ahead and come on through, get that dub this weekend, and put yourself in the playoffs so we can roll with it and we can put these Bama fans to bed. Now, speaking of going to bed, we getting ready to shut this thing down. What's going on, Foot? I know you've been over there working hard. Y'all check out our country cousins, country with a K, We Hawks TV, talking about them Atlanta Hawks, baby. We Georgia everything up here except Georgia Tech on this end. And shout out to Anti-Hate Music, for hooking us up one of the greatest intros and whatnot. We celebrated hip hop last week. I didn't want to forget about those guys because, man, they pretty much gave us, how they say every superhero should have a theme song. Guess what? The BirdCage got their theme song because of Anti-Hate Music. Shout out to those boys over there, man.
Music. Shout out.
Appreciate it.
So we'll catch you guys next week. We'll catch you guys on Sunday, and then on Thursday, we're gonna catch you next week when we talk about how we gonna drop them things on them Bucks when they come to the ATL, baby. So much love, and we'll see you guys next week. Y'all be easy out here. Peace.